Good evening, Margi.
Good evening, sir.
Should we call you Chirag or Margi or Shah?
Sir,
Where you are
my
comfortable?
first name is Margi.
Okay, Margi. Introduce yourself. Then, then Shri Upender will. I will request to Shri Upender sir to ask you some questions. Okay.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. Myself, SHAH Margi. I am 25 years old and I am from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I am an alumnus of St. Anne's High School and St. Xavier's High School. I have completed my graduation in computer engineering from Lalbhai Dalpatbhai College, Ahmedabad. Um, in my leisure time, I like to indulge in reading Western fiction books and learning Spanish language.
So, Margi, what is your optional subject?
So my optional subject is sociology.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jagdish sir and Kulwan sir. Hello, Margi.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So comfortable?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. So what does this Margi stands for?
Sir, my name basically means a person, one who's a traveler, and second, the person who keeps moving on in their life and going forward.
Okay. So when we say like this in terms of a spiritual, what does it stand for?
So spiritually, there is something called Margi Sangeet, which means the path to the music that takes us to salvation. And it was created by Lord Brahma, and it is mainly focused on words. But in the contemporary scenario, it is almost disappeared.
So according to SHAH Margi, what is salvation? Getting into IAS or something else?
So IAS or civil services for me is certainly my goal and my dream to one of my dreams to achieve in life. However, that I wouldn't call as salvation. Salvation is a much bigger term for me, and for me that would mean having peace and happiness within myself, in my inner conscience, irrespective of the material conditions outside.
Okay. So can you please put a light on that so I also can learn that salvation, that happiness and peace, how you are gonna like achieve that?
So basically, all the material conditions that exist around certainly have an impact in me, both good and bad. It excites the good things excite me, and the bad things sometimes upset me as well. So I want to rise above these emotions and detach myself from it. And when I'm able to do that, I will be able to say that I have achieved some sense of it.
Do you know you are going against the empathy?
So, empathy does not like me not having emotions is not what I meant to say. But
Okay.
that emotions shouldn't control me. Rather, I should be able to be emotionally intelligent and utilize those
Okay.
emotions to do better.
Okay. Okay. So as you talked about emotionally intelligent, so as emotionally intelligent person, SHAH Margi, how you would like to describe the Gujarat model? Is it really a model or something just false news?
Sir, Gujarat has a model of development, and certainly that model of development has focused on creating a lot of infrastructure as well as improving the socio-economic indicators. It has focused on multiple sectors, be it creating state-of-the-art infrastructure for industry or improving farmers' position and economy by bringing out Krishi Mahotsav.
Can you
It has
be like be very specific that this much Gujarat has improved in the agriculture or some farmers? Be some specific numbers so that I can like count on that. Yes, this much we have improved.
Okay, sir. So, sir, Gujarat's economy is contributing. I am not aware of the exact numbers per se, sir, but Gujarat model is focusing on first ease of doing business by providing mechanisms like single window clearance and easy land acquisition. Secondly, it is focusing on Jan Bhagidari through mahotsavs like Ran Utsav or Krishi Mahotsav, Khadi Utsav, which is improving tourism as well as the economy. So third, it is creating infrastructure like Gift City or the Surat Diamond Burst, and creating employment as well as skilling. So these are the three things.
So, Margi, apart from Amul, why we not witness something else in Gujarat? If it is so good, like
Sir, Amul has achieved a scale. However, scale that certain other organizations are also willing to get to. But we have organizations like Seva, which is providing, which is an SAGN providing employment to women. We also have dairies such as Banas Dairy, which is also a cooperative and helping farmers in improving their economic position.
okay, wonderful, Margi. So as you have the sociology optional, right?
Yes, sir.
Be very precise, be very specific. How you see the women from 19th century till now in phases?
Okay, sir. So, sir, in 19th century, women were fighting for their basic rights, such as their right to clothing or the right to participate in the social, in the public areas, public sphere. With the coming of the 20th century and the social reform movement, along with the nationalist movement, women were included more in the public sphere through the national movement, through their participation in the national movement, and efforts for education and widow remarriage by social reformers like Jyotiba Phule or Savitribai Phule. In the 21st century, what we see is that women have improved the participation in the economic sphere as well, and the financial independence and the financial empowerment they have gained is significant.
Okay, great. So as you said, you are interested in event managing.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm like seeing another Mr. Event Manager from Gujarat, apart from the others. How you would like to organize one event in Gujarat so that the people who are against the Gujarat model, they can like have some validate figures, the validate outcomings, so that they are pro the Gujarat model.
Okay, sir. Sir, first of all, I would like to plan an event and call all the people who are against the Gujarat model per se. Secondly, I would like to hear their grievances by forming a panel or a committee of experts who would be better suited to address their grievances, such as people in their domain experts per se. Sir, thirdly, I would call the people who have benefited from the Gujarat model and share the experiences with the people who are not able to understand it. And
Okay.
fourthly, I would acknowledge the deficiencies or the shortcomings that the Gujarat model has and would certainly love to improve on the basis of the feedback that we give.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
So, Margi, as we are witnessing the recent situation in Manipur, how you see that?
So the situation is very unfortunate because the conflict which started between two tribes has a lot of stakeholders now.
What
And
types? Be specific.
so the tribes Kukis and Meetis.
Okay.
The issue began with granting ST status to Meetis by the court, by the judiciary there, and that is which began the conflict. However, the unfortunate part is that women are being the primary target in the entire situation. However, right now, as we have imposed the president's rule, there is greater control we can exercise there to improve the situation.
Margi. One last question to you.
Yes, sir.
As a computer engineer, how you see India in 2047?
Sir, India has begun to take leaps towards digitalization with the creation of digital public infrastructure like UPI and Aadhaar. being a computer engineer, I feel that we are taking leaps and bounds in development of artificial intelligence and machine learning with establishment of Center of Excellence for AI in health and
Okay,
education.
Shamir, I got the message. So with AI and Center of Excellence, Kulwan sir has more experience over that. So nice talking to you. Let's come
Thank
to
you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
So what is this combination, computer science and sociology?
So computer science helped me develop my technical aptitude and the problem solving skills and analytical skills, while sociology helps me to utilize those skills in a more empathetic manner for the progress of society. So I think it is a good combination.
So sociology is a study of society, right?
Yes, sir.
And our constitution is a reflection of society.
Certainly, sir.
So what is the sociological view of constitution, if I have to ask?
Sir, the functionalist would argue that the constitution is functioning very well and it is addressing all the parts of society in a positive manner and bringing more integration in the society, as we have seen through our basic features like secularism or federalism, which tries to incorporate the diversity in our society. However, the conflict perspective would argue that it is more in the favor of elites, and that perspective can be, however, countered through the provisions of DPSP that we have, which focuses on India being a welfare state and providing socio-economic mobility to the marginal sections.
So we can, without any prejudice, say that part 3 of the constitution is for the elite people and part 4 is for the weaker sections. True?
Sorry, sir, but I would humbly like to differ from this, because Part 3 provides equal rights to all the people, irrespective of their social or economic position. Part 4 aims to empower them more so that they experience greater mobility in their social and economic spheres.
So you mean to say both are equally important?
Certainly, sir.
Socio-economic rights means should not be more meaningful before we can exercise our part 3 rights?
So, both are equally important in the sense that for a person to have for the person to exercise their political rights, they should be socially and economically aware as well as capable to do that. So, it is necessary to empower them with the provisions of Part 4 as well.
So what is the basic feature of our constitution, basic structure? Is it not unambiguous and undefined, uncharted area and gives more discretion to the Supreme Court to overrule the executive or the parliament?
So the basic structure provides a security as to protect the basic features which cannot be altered and reflects the minds of our founding fathers of the Constitution. It is undefined because it has to evolve with time and with the change in society. However, there should be some principles or some guidelines on the basis of which the new features should be added so that the ambiguity can be reduced.
No, but there's a lot of resentment against this power now with the Supreme Court. Self-acquired power, people do say.
So for that, all the three pillars, the Supreme Court, the legislature, judiciary, legislature, and the executive should work together and build a consensus on it, so that they also exercise separation of powers while maintaining the integrity of the Constitution.
Okay, tell me now, there is a lot of discussion about this thing, whether we should have a presidential form of government or the parliamentary form of government. What are your views about it? Whether we should have the existing arrangement or we should switch over to presidential form?
So the existing arrangement is working well for India, as we have seen in the last 75 years since independence. So also the people of India have accustomed to it. It also incorporates the diversity and the representation that we need from multiple states and cultures. So in my view, we can continue with the parliamentary form of government, as it is also again a basic feature of the Constitution as well.
Well, see, the justification of parliamentary system is that before independence, especially 1935 Act, gave us a taste of parliamentary democracy in a limited manner, right?
Yes, sir.
The 1935 Act, whatever parliamentary democracy or parliamentary form of government it gave, that was totally flawed, limited, not exactly what we had in British England. And we always say that we are well accustomed to functioning this kind of parliamentary function because we have learnt it from the Britishers, but that was entirely different. And even now, the imprint of 1935 Act is very prominent, and still the same restrictions with 1935 Act means imposed upon our system. They are still operating. Then why should we so beholden to the parliamentary system of government?
So while I acknowledge that the parliamentary democracy that we have was brought in by the 1935 Act, we have made our own changes, like representation in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha is based on a universal adult franchise, which was not provided in the 1935 Act. We have also brought in recently the 106th Amendment Bill, which provides a reservation to women to increase their representation in the political sphere. So, and also the people that the way that we have accustomed to the parliamentary form of government cannot be neglected, as 140 crore people have been voting the way they have since the last 75 years. And so bringing in a new system would pose multiple challenges based on logistical sphere or the understanding and the awareness of the democratic presidential democracy per se.
This is a kind of formalistic view of parliamentary democracy, voting. So voting is not the end of parliamentary democracy.
Certainly, sir.
The parliament democracy is what is what happens between the two say between two when we vote, between the 5 years after the vote and the next general elections, right? Between the two general elections. So what
Yes, sir.
happens in these 5 years, that is more important. Of course, voting is important, but this voting is not the end of
Yes, sir.
democracy, right?
Yes, sir.
The parliamentary functioning. So do you think there are certain anomalies which we need to address, or we need to amend our constitution to make parliament more robust and executive more accountable to the parliament?
Sir, I'm not aware. I cannot recall the exact constitutional changes that we would need to bring more accountability. But on the a part of, let's say, the parliamentary disruptions that we see, or the low days of number of sittings that we see, or the presentation of bills in a more skeletal form that we see, that all of those things can be improved, and reforms can be done in that to improve the functionality of that parliamentary democracy and improve that.
But then they also say, the sort of last question from my side is that silences of the constitution are more important. They should be more, I think, strengthened. Like there's no reference of opposition party in the constitution, not at all. And no powers are given to opposition by our constitution.
So the leader of opposition has a statutory mention. The leader of opposition is also present in the selection committee of a lot of institutions, independent institutions that we have. So I am not. I don't think I'm equipped enough with that knowledge to say that we should make constitutional changes. But certainly the operational part can be improved.
Okay, Mari, thank you so much. All the best. When is your interview?
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, my interview is on 8th April.
Okay, still more than a month. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mardi, you are going to be one of the member of the Spanish speaking persons. How many people read and speak in Spanish?
Sir, around 490 million people globally
Correct.
speak.
Correct.
Yes.
So that was the reason I say you are making them 5 billion next to Hindi.
Hopefully, sir, yeah.
6 billion is spoken by Hindi is spoken by 6 billion people.
Yes.
Okay. Gujarat. You were saying that Gujarat model has some lacunas also. What are these?
So, Gujarat has been performing a little lower in the social indicators per se, where the literacy rate and the health indicators in Gujarat are a little lower than proportional to its economic growth. So that we need to improve upon, as Gujarat faces the problem of child marriages, and it has lower sex ratio at birth. So these are the things that we need to address.
It can be done by the government or the social reformers, child marriage act, child
So
marriages.
both the stakeholders need to take steps for that. So Gujarat government has launched a Wali Dikri Yojana, where it would provide 1.1 lakh rupees as an incentive to the girls who are born for their education and their economic empowerment as well in their later life, and also contribute to the marriage expenses. And apart from that, sir, speaking from the civil society part, there is a organization called Astral Foundation, who has taken up responsibility of an entire village, the girls in an entire village, to fund their education. So, sir, both stakeholders need to work together to improve the situation.
Good. Gujarat has produced eminent politicians. Why not an eminent policeman or a scientist?
Uh, Sir, Gujarat has an inherent business acumen and trader mindset that we have. Secondly, sir, the socialization that Gujaratis have is more inclined towards business and entrepreneurship. So Gujarat has produced significant entrepreneurs as well. And but now the situation is changing. Gujarat is becoming more aware towards research and development, and Gujarat has also ranked first in the innovation index. So we are progressing towards producing more scientists as well.
Even in business, not a single person is a professor of business administration of eminence. Not a single Gujarati.
Yes, sir.
He may be good in manufacturing or trading, but a scientific temperament in business community is lacking.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason for it?
Um, Sir, I may not know the exact reason, but can I take a guess for it?
Sure, sure. You are at liberty to take a guess.
Thank you, sir. So, firstly, it could be because we are more socialized. Gujarat is more socialized towards bringing up their children in the family businesses without uh, mm, without nudging them towards taking the formal education for business administration. That could be one. Secondly, the so this is what is coming to my mind right now. I'm not able to
Okay.
think of any other
I
reasons.
remember Manik Shah went to Ahmedabad, your town, decades back. So when he was speaking in Hindi and English, so the crowd said Gujarati. He said, ladies and gentlemen, there was not a single policeman in India from Gujarat. How do can I learn in army? Sorry, how can I understand Gujarati? It's a very subtle way. In administration, also, most of them are from Goa or Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
But now I think even in today, we find you are the third or fourth candidate from Gujarat. Why a change is coming?
Sir, the change one could be coming because there is greater awareness that is being created. I in from my personal experience in our college itself, we had a UPSC student association, which I was the vice
Okay.
president of. So we are creating awareness from the school and college level itself. Secondly, the state civil services is now being conducted regularly. So that is also bringing more awareness in the youth towards civil services as a career. So these could be the two reasons.
Okay. Tell me, there are some areas in Gujarat, there is a problem of drinking water and electricity. Which are these areas?
Sir, the Saurashtra and Kutch region mainly face water
Correct,
scarcity.
correct, correct, correct. So now there was a meeting in Delhi, a meeting where European Union President and Prime Minister made a very powerful statement to do a within a year a agreement. What is that?
Sorry, sir, I'm unaware about it. I will have to read about it.
A Gujarati person must know tariffs are going to be lower.
Certainly, sir. I'm sorry, I don't know it.
Your things will be going frequently. Mm.
Yes,
Your
sir.
diamonds will be cheaper there and sold there. Okay. In Surat, a new city was developed uh, for diamond industry. Why it has not clicked?
Sir, while the infrastructure was rightly developed with state-of-the-art infrastructure, however, moving the businesses to that Surat Diamond Burst was a challenge, as the incentives for that were not enough. Secondly, the need was not like the Bharat Diamond Burst was already fulfilling its needs of the traders that were there in the diamond industry. So I think that was the reason where the stakeholder consultation might not have happened enough.
What that city I have seen, it's one of the state-of-art cities. All amenities were provided and almost subsidized rate the shops were sold.
Yes, sir.
And business atmosphere was also made. So I don't feel your statement has a justification.
So one of the reasons could also be the logistical challenge, as it is away from the city, and that takes more time to reach there. That
That
is right.
that is the only reason.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Secondly, you all always a businessman is always happy at status quo. If this area, this city was made in Marwar, they would have jumped it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am only concentrating for a minute on Gujarat model. I found a model of Gujarat everywhere in USA, Canada, European Union. Wherever one single Gujarati buys a house, 20 comes within 5 years. Why this is so? It's a tribalistic system or a security network.
Sir, it works both ways. I think Gujaratis find Gujaratis love to have that social capital around them, and it also provides a sense of security. And the diaspora is very trustworthy when it comes to new migrants in the new country, and that has also reflected in the high number of Gujaratis going to US and Canada as such to fulfill that American dream of theirs.
Another, a large number of Punjabi, Haryanvi, and Gujarati illegal migrants have been done. If the Gujarat model is so successful, why they are desperate to go to USA or other countries
Um,
illegally?
Yes, sir. So, one reason, first reason that I can think of is the social prestige that they attach to going to foreign countries, and there is a demand for NRI guides for marriages, especially in certain communities. Secondly, sir, the picture of that American dream has not yet diluted, despite the Gujarat model providing enough opportunities for economic growth and employment. So, thirdly, uneducated people are a lot of the chunk of the migrants that go out, as they rely on the support of the diaspora already present there and the network that they already have. So, these could be the reasons.
It is the social responsibility taken by Gujarati outside to take care of the illegal immigrants that may be one of the lurements. Do you agree?
So, to some part, I do. Because when a person has
In Gujarat,
security
they
outside,
say कि whenever a new person come, one brick, 1 rupee. every Gujarati will contribute. Is it still possible? Is still prevalent?
Sir, from the experiences that I have known about my friends, it seems to be true.
Okay, that is a tribe mentality. Fine. Have you seen television or newspaper you have read?
So not today. I was unable to do that. Sorry, sir.
I'm not talking about today,
Yes,
yesterday.
sir. Yes, sir.
So why two head of the states fought before cameras last night?
Yes, sir. The context you're providing is about President Trump and President Zelensky, I'm assuming. Uh, Sir, it is unfortunate to see that two heads of state cannot communicate or have a dialogue peacefully in presence of cameras or the media. That reflects the lack of consensus and a certain level of diplomatic immaturity as well when we see it. And I think that President Trump is he knows that he has an upper hand and greater economic as well as security might, which Ukraine needs to continue with the conflict. And so President Trump might be utilizing that upper hand to force that peace treaty on Ukraine.
Was he forcing or bullying?
Sir, I don't know if bullying could be the word that could be used for a president, but he was
He
certainly
was.
trying to coerce.
The language he has used,
Yes, sir.
and he has invited a head of the state, whether it's a small country or a large country. You have to be very, very polite.
Certainly,
And
sir.
he was asked to have a dinner at his house, at White House. He could not even enjoy salad.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel it is a correct behavior of a head of the state of a powerful country?
Certainly not, sir. That shouldn't be the behavior of any state, irrespective of their size or their position globally. In that sense, India has always been at the
I'm
forefront.
not
And
talking about India.
yes,
You
sir.
have
So
sent a
so that
you
that
have
behavior
sent a
is inappropriate.
you have sent a very decent prime minister to tackle these issues, Mr. Modi. He know how to tackle such bullies. Zelensky is not a politician.
Certainly, sir.
Okay.
Hello, Margi. How was the interview?
Sir, I lack knowledge on certain things about Gujarat that Jagjit sir asked, and I could have been more concise to the questions that Kulwant sir asked as well about the parliamentary and the presidential form of government.
Wonderful. So you have figured out one thing is you had long answers, but not substantiated.
Yes, sir.
So that simple word, even though I can stretch this long, but I think message is conveyed,
Yes, sir.
right? Second thing, what I found, see, when someone is talking about Gujarat model, why it went from me to Jagjit sir? You know, it was you who sent it. In
Okay,
spite
sir.
of talking about Lekinas or whatever, when I asked particularly to you, you would have come up with certain facts and figures. Ki with these things we have done well. With these things we are still lacking. Job is
Yes, sir.
finished.
Hmm.
I think
Yes.
the matter was closed, right? So
Yes,
that
sir.
is the second feedback. Don't try to open new gates so that your interview went on just on one dimension. Even though you are a very wonderful personality, you can come up with like flying colors in other topics as well. So don't
Yes.
miss this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And third thing is don't take it on personal note. When Jagdi sir was asking questions, it was looking like you are defending Gujarati Asmita or Gujarati something like that. It should
Yes, sir.
not be. You
I
are just
spoke we at certain places, which I should have avoided. Yes,
definitely,
sir. Yes, sir.
definitely, because you are a fresh aspirant. Okay. And fourth from my side, final is, have you gone through SOUL, SOUL, School of Ultimate Leadership?
Yes, sir, I have read about it. I have to read more in detail about it, but I know that it is being
So,
constructed in Gandhinagar and I
yeah,
have been there as well.
please go through the fundamentals of that.
Yes, sir.
You can incorporate that in your conversation. Will definitely help you.
Yes, sir. Certainly, sir.
Okay.
I'll do
Okay.
that.
So it's enough from my side. Let's come to Kulwant sir now.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Margi, you have already identified one area during my interaction, that Parliament, right?
Yes, sir.
Look at this issue very critically and this system as a whole, right? So we did not inherit or we did not have the experience of parliamentary democracy, what we do claim, because parliamentary democracy or parliamentary system, not exactly democracy, before independence was a truncated model which suited to Britishers. And unfortunately, that has been incorporated in our constitution. And especially look critically at the role of governor, what kind of powers he has in certain areas, especially in relation to federalism in Northeast and maybe UTs also now.
Yes, sir.
And then especially in Delhi and J&K. And then also means this J&K I've already mentioned, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and then we presume that there will be certain parliamentary conventions, unwritten laws, which we did not unfortunately incorporate in our constitution, like the impartiality of the speaker.
Yes, sir.
Lord Speaker will be following exactly the model what Britishers do follow. Once he is elected, he will resign and he will be impartial, etc. But that is not the case now. Okay.
Yes.
So there are certain issues which were not incorporated in our constitution, presuming that we have the experience of British system, but unfortunately that was not the experience. Hardly for 10, 15 years after 1935 Act, not even 35, but 10, 15 years, because soon after 1937 election, about 42, all Congress leaders, those who were heading those governments, they were in jails.
Mm.
And so many powers were given to Governor General and governors of the states, and they are continuing even now. Do not in that the scope has reduced, but even then there is impact of that. So I'm not saying you should be advocating the presidential form of government. Then we need some improvements also, some reformations also of this very institution, what we call is the parliament. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That has at some point of time will require it.
Okay, sir.
So you have to critically look at this issue, and then I'll means recommend you one. But now there is no time of reading a book. But there is a beautiful book by Gautam Bhatia, The Indian Constitution: A Conversation with Power. Okay, that
Okay, sir.
gives you a fair idea what are the problems with the parliamentary democracy. But there is, I think, one article also of his, and maybe one lecture also in National Law University, Bangalore, where he has spoken about these issues. So that is, I think, about 2 hours or 1.5 hours lecture. So you can definitely search for that, or the article, I think he wrote in Indian Express a fortnight ago. So he
Okay, sir.
highlighted certain issues, what I was talking of. And obviously, I would have recommended Constituent Assembly debates, but that is not recommended at this stage. But then to have a critical look at our parliamentary functional function, this system, I think that will help and will help you in having some critical views about this. Otherwise, there is all in public domain what is happening and how parliament functions. So being a candidate for civil services, you should have some critical outlook instead of means entirely relying on what is written in our constitution, because constitution after all is a black law, black letter law, and its interpretation is something different. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So have some critical views. Don't be over critical, but don't go to extreme. But yes, certainly we should have some views that will show
Yes, sir.
your independence as well as your personality. Okay. Rest
Okay,
I think was fine about fundamental rights and directive principles, state policy. final balance. And I think you also need to have some little bit more knowledge about basic structure wala issues, yeah, because that takes away a lot of power from the parliament and executive.
Okay,
It's
sir.
kind of uncharted territory. What will happen? What view court will take about certain acts, like what happened about National Judicial Appointments Act, right?
Yes.
So of course that act was also flawed.
Hmm.
Then of course they said this is against the basic structure. How it could be against the basic structure when you're having a law for appointing judges? There may be flaws, but you cannot outrightly say it undermines the independence of the judiciary. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Ultimately, Parliament is in a way, in its own limited sphere, it is supreme. And executive has every right to means appoint judges with the kind of safeguards which are required to ensure independence of the judiciary, right?
Yes.
These finer nuances, okay, you need to know about those. You need not become an expert, but as a candidate,
Yes.
certain understanding is required. The rest is all fine. You are a very good candidate, and hopefully you will do well. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. So one question I had, you asked that whether the opposition party should find mention or the opposition should find mention in the constitution. So what is the what is the stand I should take on that?
You see, there are certain conventions in the British system. They should be adopted if you don't want to have, because we presumed that we'll be following those conventions, what they follow in Britain. That unfortunately we are not doing. So then
Okay.
either you should have something in the constitution about the role of the opposition, like they should have at least a short time in the parliament for discussion. Okay, that is also not there. So there is there in Britain, there is a one full day for the opposition to raise issues and whatever they want to
Yes, sir.
say. That is not
Yes, sir.
there in this India. So either we should follow those conventions, or we should have defined role in the constitution, because the opposition is very critical institution for the functioning of the democracy. So
Yes, sir.
like this, like speakers impartiality or the conventions what they follow there, we should have there. Like National Human Rights Commission or these institutions, they should be incorporated, means should have some constitutional basis instead of statutory basis, because in case of Right to Information Act and the Right to Information Commissioners, government's this thing basis for amending this act
Mhm.
means curtailing their powers was that this is not a constitutional functionary, it's a statutory, and constitutional functionary has to be treated differently from statutory functionary.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So they need not have the same safeguard which the judiciary has. Previously, they had similar safeguards which judiciary had, but then the
Yes.
government had no. This is a statutory commission, not constitutional. So they cannot claim that they should have safeguards which we provide for, or the constitution provides for the judiciary. So these are the issues. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I think we need to have critically look at these issues. So that is the point. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Marky, we had a wonderful conversation with you. You are an excellent candidate. Your communication is good. And the best part is you smile a lot. That's it. It's a plus point. And you have enthusiasm of a learner also. That's also good. Only point comes your answers are long.
Yes, sir.
And unintentionally you give us leads to ask more questions.
Yes, sir.
That is dangerous because nobody, even encyclopedia cannot be answer, or Google cannot be a answer to everything.
Yes.
So I think I what I have written I can tell you. Recommended: think, pause, then speak. This is for you, Mark.
Yes,
Think,
sir.
listen, think, pause, then speak.
Yes.
And don't open Pandora box.
Yes, sir.
When you were talking about Gujarat model, and in the same breath you say illegal immigrants, you say some illiterate people. Your model goes down.
Yes, sir.
Is Gujaratis are still illiterate after 50 years of progress? So
Right,
weigh
sir.
your words, then speak.
Yes, sir.
Because you're opening a box before public. Earlier you was defending your own model, and you were
Yes.
taking to heart as it's a assault on Gujarat.
Right, sir.
And
Understood.
your expression Upinder has caught in his eye. That's the reason he said कि गुजरात संहिता के बारे में हो गए, गुजरात प्राइड के बारे में सोच रहे हो. You should not.
Yes, sir. I need to be
That
more
feeling,
objective on Gujarat's answers.
you should know it. ऑडिटर जनरल रिपोर्ट्स की 20 साल की रिपोर्टें निकाल लो, गुजरात मॉडल, ये तो अपोजिशन मूर्ख है जो इस पे बोली नहीं गुजरात में, ना केजरीवाल बोला. उसमें है ये सारा कुछ. ओके, गुड लक.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck. You can log out now.
Watch all the best. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you very much, sir.